This is an ABC News special report.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips here in Washington. We are coming on the air with major news in the special counsel's investigation into former President Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith has filed a superseding indictment against former President Trump in the federal election subversion case. Let's get straight to our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, let's talk about how this new indictment is different from the original one, and why has special counsel taken this step?
Well, Kara, this is a new superseding indictment brought before a new grand jury in Washington. And what you see the special counsel doing here, he's trying to accommodate the recent Supreme Court ruling, which broadened the immunity of a sitting president. And in this case, what I'm told is that the charges will largely remain the same, but they've taken out some allegations, for example, that deal with the president dealing directly with members of his cabinet, including the Justice Department. Anything he said to them cannot be included in these charges, and the allegations and the evidence, that's been taken out. The other thing that's happening here is that they're making very clear in this indictment that these charges are being brought in connection with actions that former President Trump took as a candidate. They're saying that he took these actions to remain in office, and he did all of this as a candidate, not in his capacity as the President of the United States.
So this narrows the indictment to follow the Supreme Court ruling.
Absolutely. That is the focus. I was just briefed by some sources who were involved with the case, and they're saying this is to accommodate the Supreme Court ruling. They imply and go by the guidelines that's set forth by the Supreme Court. This view on this, and this will be litigated as well, but this superseding indictment is to accommodate the recent Supreme Court ruling.
Got it. And I know Pierre cut out just for a second there. That's what happens when we have breaking news and you're trying to get to the Bureau as fast as you can. Pierre, appreciate it so much. Let's get right now to our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky. Aaron, this definitely looks like quite the 1-2 punch from special counsel.
It does. Special counsel Jack Smith is not going to be cowed by the Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity or by a federal judge in Florida's recent decision to toss the indictment against former President Trump, charging him with mishandling classified material. Jack Smith just decided to appeal that ruling to the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and now he has filed a superseding indictment in the January 6th election subversion case in Washington. Former President Trump remains charged with conspiracy to defraud the United States, and over more than 36 pages, this new indictment says the purpose of that conspiracy, as alleged, was to overturn the legitimate results of the 2020 election by using knowingly false claims of election fraud. It goes on to allege the same things that Trump was charged with doing as before, although, as Pierre notes, things he did as a private citizen, as a candidate, not as a sitting president of the United States. Jack Smith making it clear he's going to continue to try and go after former President Trump for past alleged misdeeds, even as Trump seeks the White House again, Kira.
Interesting that the previous indictment was 45 pages. This new indictment now 36 pages. Aaron, what recourse does former President Trump have now?
Well, he is going to undoubtedly have to return to federal court to be arraigned on the superseding indictment. In all likelihood, he would plead not guilty, and then he can continue his efforts to have this indictment either dismissed or delayed, as he has previously. We don't know yet what the former president's specific legal strategy is going to be, but expect him to fight tooth and nail, as he has against every criminal prosecution that he's faced, Kira.
All right. Our investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, also our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Thank you both so much. Our coverage does continue on ABC News Live and also abcnews.com, and a full wrap-up coming up on World News tonight with David Muir. I'm Kira Phillips. We now return to your regular programming.
This has been a special report from ABC News.